typically do not think much of it. When I hear someone say I am in love with you, I like to stop to eavesdrop a little bit, because they could be proposing even if they are not. They could be proposing. Even if they are not, it is still beautiful to see a couple truly in love. For example, in a movie like The Fault in Our Stars, the male lead tells the female lead that he's in love with her. This will leave the audience's eyes more watery compared to him just saying love you or I love you, because I'm in love with you is honest, deep, and passionate. Love you, I love you, and I'm in love with you are very different phrases that some people can mistake to be the same. I think you can say and truly mean love you to many people. You can say it to friends, family, or anyone somewhat close to you. It is very casual. You can say and truly mean I love you to a smaller amount of people, like best friends or close family members. It is intimate, but it is still friendly and not romantic or sexual. It is intimate, but it is still friendly and does not have to be romantic or sexual. You can say you can only say I'm in love with you to one person, your partner. It is very intimate and loving, and it can be sexual. This all depends on if they are asexual or not. Asexual people are people who do not have a sexual drive or any sexual attraction to people. They can be in love with people, but they do not want to have sex. They are just romantic. There are people who are aromantic also. I do not think aromantic people apply to this essay, though, because aromantic people are not romantically attracted to people, only sexually attracted to people. They cannot be in love with people. Sexual and romantic relationships are extremely different. It must be romantic for you to be in love, but it does not have to be sexual. Some people are asexual and aromantic. They definitely would not apply to this essay because they cannot be in love with anyone. They are not romantically or sexually attracted to anyone. For people who are not asexual and aromantic, they need to establish a difference between love, attachment, lust, and infatuation. Sometimes people mistake lust and or infatuation for love. For lust, sometimes people have such a high sexual desire for someone that they mistake it for love because they want the person so much, but in a sexual way, not a romantic way. It is a totally mental thing. Your sexual attraction for someone can trick your brain into thinking it is love. Your brain categorizes romantic and sexual desire at the same time. Your sexual desire for someone is so high that your brain converts that to your romantic desire. Lust, and especially infatuation, are the cause to too many failed relationships and marriages. On occasions, lust can cause you to fall for someone, and for example, the combination of lust and alcohol could end up in a Las Vegas marriage. Infatuation is a major cause of failed relationships and marriages. The Oxford Dictionary defines infatuated as made or become utterly foolish, possessed with extravagantly foolish passion, besotted. Many people mistake infatuation for being in love because their love for their partner is so intense because it is new and different. Many people mistake infatuation for being in love because their love for their partner is so intense since it is new and different. You do not have enough experience with the person. You probably have not seen their worst side. I think you should be with someone long enough to know if it is a good match. Short relationships before marriage typically do not work out as well as long relationships before marriage. I think infatuation is more similar to love and loving someone than being in love with someone. You must really know the person inside and out to know if you are in love. Contrasting to lust and infatuation, I think your attachment to someone increases the longer you have been with them. In the article Measuring Romantic Love, Psychometric Properties of the Infatuation and Attachment Scales by Sandra Langslad, Peter Muris, Ingmar Franken, they state individuals that have just fallen in love will typically experience high levels of infatuation and low levels of attachment, whereas individuals that are involved in a long-term relationship will typically experience low levels of infatuation and high levels of attachment. Your attachment for someone increases over time because you start to rely on them over time. Your attachment for someone increases over time because you start to rely on them. They know you very well and they have been through a lot with you. You can still be infatuated with them, but it lessens. Infatuation is more like the initial shock of being so in love with somebody. I think time is required to be attached to someone. Today, in 2016, we are a lot more progressive than the past, but there is still a large amount of people who do not think gay marriage and relationships are right and the same as straight marriages and relationships. This is mainly because of religion. The Bible says that marriage should be between a woman and a man. The only difference between a relationship with a man or a woman and a woman versus a man and a woman is their sex. The love is romantically the same, so a man and a man can be in love just like a woman and a man. Loving your sister and loving to travel. Loving your sister and loving to travel, for example, are very different things for one main reason. The love for your sister is mutual. Your sister loves you back, whereas your love for travel cannot be mutual. Traveling is not a person. Anything that is not a person close to you, like a celebrity or food, is categorized as a different kind of love compared to love for somebody close to you. Because, for the most part, the things in this category do not love you back. It is not a mutual relationship. So it is not comparable to a relationship between you and somebody close to you. Love does not have to be romantic or sexual. For example, you can love to travel and you can love your sister. You obviously do not / should not have a sexual and romantic relationship with traveling or your sister. Your love for your sister is platonic. However, being in love has to be romantic, but not necessarily sexual. One of the people in the relationship could be asexual and not want sex and not want to have sex, but they can still be in love. You can love many people in your life, but you are typically in love with only one person. Love is very tricky. Everyone has their own idea of love. It can be unique to every person, but in general, love is pure happiness. Pure happiness when you think about your partner, your sister, your dog, Chicago,